About time that CEO died. And I'm sure that a scum CEO like him must have a scummy son as well.
Stanley, your timing with all of that is terrible. Do you really think I want to sit here and listen to you talk about us like that after my father passed away? I know very well that you and my father were not very close to one another. Not even close at all, actually.
Huh? What do you mean by that? I am a banker and I did the right thing as one. And I never had the money to loan out to someone that could never run their business properly.
I understand that it's your job to be the one deciding whether or not to loan out the bank's money. But you having given him nothing for so long led to his company going in the red. And from there you only began to look down on him even further. Was there any real reason as to why you had to do that to my father when he was in such a rough situation?
Are you trying to say that I wasn't doing the right thing by not giving him any money? You can't do anything yourself, and you feel you can judge me on that one? It's because of you being such a useless son that your father ended up dying due to stress.
I don't think I had anything to do with his death. I've heard all about what you've done to my father from him. I'd like it if you began to act a bit more like a grown adult and started to look past all the troubles you've caused us.
This is a pain in my butt. Especially since your father's company is falling apart. I'm sure the company's on the way out right now, yeah? I think you should do the honors and put it out of its misery. The CEO is gone now, so it's time that place was put to rest.
Can you stop saying such horrible things, please? I plan on bringing this company back up from the ashes you've let it become. And so I'm going to start working on that right now.
How are you going to do all that when you have no money? Well, if you happen to come to me asking for anything, I'd hand you nothing more than a bit of pocket lint before showing you the way out.
The money at that bank is not your own, Stanley. I'm not saying that you have to be the one to help with the company that I plan to bring back. But the money in that bank is not something you can control all the time. There are always other bankers I can talk with.
Huh? What's with that kind of talk? I am the only one in charge of the money at this bank, and so I can choose who gets my help or not. And because your family never understood that the company is on its final leg.
This company is not going to fall because of you. No matter what you have to say about us or this company, it's not going to die. Thank you for worrying about us here, but we don't need your worries. And thank you for caring about my father back when you actually cared. But after today, you'll never have the chance to help us out again. Now, good day to you.
I'm going to come to your father's funeral. You should be happy for that.
You don't have to come to it now. My father wouldn't be happy if you came anyway. And if you're worried that not coming will affect how you're viewed, don't worry about that, because it won't. I'd rather you stayed far away from the funeral, actually.
I'm not planning on listening to what you've uttered. Now, I'll be coming to see your devastated expressions when I arrive at the funeral.
You're only going to cause more trouble, so please, stay away. I'm telling you that you don't have to bother with my family anymore. Now, goodbye.
I'm quite the nice guy, aren't I? I came here with some money to hand off to you guys as a gift, even though you were all scum. Thank you, please.
This isn't funny, Stanley. Why did you come to my father's funeral? Did you think that it was okay for you to do that when you're supposed to be seen as a leading banker?
Huh? What was it that I did wrong here?
You came into the funeral and chucked 49 cents at me, saying it was the money you wanted to give to my father. That right there is beyond normal. You get your head together and explain yourself to me. Actually, you don't even have to explain anything to me as long as you leave. I don't even want to look at you anymore.
I'm thinking the same thing. I'm happy thinking about how soon that company will fail soon. And I'll never have to worry about your scum again.
Excuse me? Are you really going to say that to me again when my father only just passed away a few days ago? I think that what you've done is far from okay now that you've made yourself out to look like a complete lunatic.
He caused all sorts of problems for me. Because he never knew how to run a company, his problems slowly became mine, and that was no good. But now that he's gone for good, I decided to celebrate that by handing you 49 cents in his name.
I'm going to make you regret what you've done today.
Try it.
I'm telling you that what you've just said to me, you'll soon come to regret. I'm not going to let what you've done to me go. You're really going to regret what pain you've caused me and my family today. I'm going to do all this in the name of my father.
What are you going on about, Richard? At this point, no matter what you try and say to me, I'm not going to budge. You and your whole family is a bunch of idiot scum. I'm looking forward to the day the company collapses. Well, good luck trying to pick up any scraps before that company crumbles into pieces.
I don't need to hear any of that from you because we have a plan set in place to bring the company back on its feet. And whether I do my best or not will not be affected by you. I'm seriously going to make you regret all of this, so you'd better get excited for that time to come.
Richard, it's been a few weeks now. I know I haven't spoken to you for a while now, but are you doing all right? Can you please forgive me for what had happened before? I've contacted you today apologizing for all of that. So if you don't mind, I'd love to have a moment of your time to talk through things. And preferably, I'd love to come to you to apologize to you properly and sincerely.
Stanley, your attitude has changed quite a lot since the last time we spoke. Did something happen to you?
I have seen that your company has come along quite a ways. And so I was wondering if I could be of any service to you and the company now.
So you're here asking me to allow you to help the company again? I'm surprised you're not embarrassed by asking me that after all you've done, you jerk.
Huh? Stanley?
My company really has been performing well now. And that is all because my father, the man you talked horribly about for so long, was able to make some last-minute saves before his death that brought a lot of income into the company. And because of that, the company is outperforming most other companies in the state. It has become a very popular topic for discussion. I'm sure you just want to help the company out now because you want to make yourself look good right now. You think that by asking such a thing, you and I will become close to one another? Have you forgotten about everything that you've done to my father and his family?
I'm so sorry about what had happened then. And as of now, I am very regretful of the way I had acted, both around your father and around you. Do you think you can find it in your heart to forgive me for that? I promise that there is a very high chance now that the money your father had requested before can be given to you now because of the company's outstanding performance. Will you allow the two of us to discuss all of that even further?
What? Are you expecting that I'll give in and allow you to talk about money now after all you've done? You never listened to what my father wanted when he was alive, so why have you changed your mind now?
I never meant for any of that to be damaging to him. At the time, it was hard for even I to be able to hand over the amount of money he had been asking for. Can you please find a way to understand what I'm saying?
Even if that was the case back then, the way you handled it was rude and unacceptable for a grown adult. We're not going to be asking for any kind of financial support from you now. And at this point, we have already spoken with other banks about financing, and are to the point now where we've finished our talks and are moving on to finalizing our deals.
What? Are you guys going to pull out the money you have in our bank deal?
We are. We no longer want your bank handling any of the company's money. I was waiting for you to come and apologize to me just so that I could tell you that we were moving forward with pulling all of our money out of that bank. And thankfully, we are just about ready to do so. This is all working too perfectly.
Please, slow down for one moment. Are you sure about that?
About what?
The money that we're holding here is in fact the money that belongs to your company, yes? Moving it out of here so easily is not something that can be done overnight.
I'm aware of that, and that's why I've been working on accomplishing this feat for a while now. And when the money has all been pulled out, you'll have to be the one to take responsibility for it.
Huh? I have to?
Of course you do. The whole reason that our company is now pulling the money from your bank and moving it somewhere else is because of the way you acted towards us. I'm sure you'll even be fired for this now that there will be some damages to your bank.
Richard, do you think you can talk to me directly about all of this? I'd like to start out by apologizing for everything that had happened between us before. And I'd really like to have the chance to explain myself to you. I believe there is a massive misunderstanding between us right now.
A massive misunderstanding. Oh, I don't think so. I have not forgotten about the way you acted then. And no matter how much you've changed your attitude now towards me, what you had said and done will not be erased.
And I am very well aware of that. But I'd love to talk to you about that a bit more. I have thought a lot about what I've done, so please allow me to apologize to you. Please, I promise that I'll never act in that sort of childish way towards you and your company ever again.
It is far too late for you to apologize to me now. I told you back then, didn't I? I'm going to make you regret what you said and done. And I'm just doing what I had promised.
Please, calm down, Richard. I'm very well aware that all of that was because of me, and I'm at fault for that. But I'd really like for us to continue talks again about how this bank can help your company in even more ways now. So please just give me enough of your time to talk with you about all of that in person.
No, thank you. I'm not going to work with your bank anymore, and I thought I had made that clear. I'll never forget the way you treated my father, and this is all happening now because of that.
I never meant to treat him so poorly then. Perhaps you could say that back then I had just gotten a little too far ahead of myself. And that caused me to act in a slightly rude manner towards him.
Slightly? I doubt that you were only slightly being rude to him back then.
His company continued to stay in the red that whole time, but he always came to me asking for more support. I understand that things were tough for him, but even though you understood the rough situation he had been in, you not only acted towards him in a cold manner, but you even came all the way to his funeral and made fun of his name. Well, I didn't mean for that to be anything hurtful towards him and his family. I had to be at the funeral as I'm one of the lead bankers that worked with him.
Oh, I know that you had to be there. But if you had to be there only because you are a leading banker, then you should have acted like one until the very end. I'm never, ever going to let that go. You hear me? Everyone else that was at the funeral feels the same way I do about you. My father may have worked with your bank for the longest time now, but after seeing how you treated him and his family, everyone is very much okay with what I'm doing now. And I think that what I'm doing right now, having the company's money removed from your bank, is the perfect form of revenge.
Please, wait, Richard. I never expected your company to make such a huge comeback like it has after what your father did to it. I know now that I was getting too far ahead of myself, and I want to apologize for that. But if you pull all that money out of our bank now, it will really ruin my day.
And I have nothing to do with your day being ruined, Stanley. You didn't seem to care when my father was in a tough spot and his day was being ruined. So why should I care about your day?
Wait, please! I didn't mean that.
Also, it seems you never even looked at how the company was doing before my father passed, right?
Huh?
If you had just taken a look at the company's sales, you would have seen that it was going to make a comeback for sure. The only reason for my father needing some money from you at the time was because of a mistake one of the managers in the company had made when writing an order. And so because of that, the company did not have the right amount of money to cover the costs. But had you just handed over a little money to help pay for the costs at the time, then you would have seen that the company being in the red was only due to one late payment. So the only reason you thought the company was in the red for so long is because of that one mistake. But it was only on one occasion and wasn't even that big of a deal at the time. If you were really the amazing banker you feel that you are, you would have noticed that and understood that by handing the money to my father that one time, the status of being in the red would have gone away immediately after he made the payment.
Well, that's...
Did you ever take a look at the company's finances when he came to you? And on top of that, did you even offer to lend him anything?
I'm sorry, but I did not. I had assumed that him coming back to meet me again for money meant that his company was in the red for good. And so I never thought to look at the finances of his company. I'm so very sorry for that. But now I'm very much aware of how well your company is doing. Please allow my bank to continue working with your company.
I've already spoken to your bank's owner.
Huh?
I'll be going over there later to speak with them in person, but I will not be talking to you. I'll be letting them know about how it was your attitude that led to this choice.
Stop that, please. If you tell them about that, then I'll be made responsible for everything. Richard, please stop trying to make all of this my problem.
I'm not trying to make it your problem, as it's always been your problem, Stanley. And because of the way you acted after my father died, I'd hoped that you would have thought about your actions and made up for them sooner. But I can see that even after a few weeks have passed, you still don't see what you've done as your problem.
I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to apologize to you now, so please forgive me. I'll come to you and get on my hands and knees.
I don't need to see you doing that now. I know that you're a pile of garbage now, and will never change unless something severe happens to you. You really screwed up by not doing your job and labeling my father's scum for making one small mistake. I'm going to make sure you get a full whiff of this revenge that I've brewed up for you. Goodbye. After that, Stanley the banker was forced to take responsibility for his actions and was fired because of them. He was also made to pay the bank for the huge loss they just took when Richard pulled his company's money out, and is now stuck with some major debt. Really, the bank would have never minded Stanley for turning Richard's father away when he came asking for some help. But him going the extra mile and throwing 49 cents at Richard during his father's funeral is where things changed. If only Stanley had been a bit more mature about the way he acted, he would never have been in such trouble. But just as Richard had said, the only way that Stanley is going to learn and change for the better is after something severe happens to him, like losing his job.
Hey, I'm assuming you have all the materials ready for tomorrow's meeting, right? If by the time I get in tomorrow you don't have everything for me, I'll kick you out of here. Do you understand me?
What? But isn't all the materials for tomorrow's meeting meant to be handled by you, Mason? That is not my job. I don't even have any information myself on what's going on in that meeting, so perhaps I'm not the man for that job.
What are you saying? You're the newest employee at this company, right? That means you have to do it all for me, and I shouldn't even have to be saying this right now. If you can't do that work for me, then you're gonna be out of this job before you even make it a year!
But this isn't about me being a fresh employee to this company. I just looked over it once more, but you are the department manager, aren't you, Mason? Are you not aware of that? That means you have to be the one to prepare everything for the meeting tomorrow, which involves you personally.
Don't tell me that you haven't handed everything out yet! What do you think you're doing? You were supposed to hand everyone those files today at the beginning of the day!
What?
You waste of time. Ugh. I'm not the one in charge of preparing for that meeting, by the way. That is the job of the newest employee, and that's you! Why are you not able to understand your own job here? If you just think a little, you'd get that all of that work isn't for me to do.
Well, even if you think it's my job, if you're handing it off to me, then none of that work will be done. I have my own tasks that need to be done today, and they don't include that kind of work. Not even aware of what all you plan to talk about in that meeting tomorrow, and it's getting late.
Don't tell me that you're worse than a new hire. You're supposed to already know what your boss wants you to do and shouldn't have to say a word to me before you come saying that the work has been completed.
I'm not able to telepathically know all that you want me to get done here. And I have work of my own to tend to as it is, like I said. And I also know that you have work sitting on your desk that needs to get done. So if you're trying to push that work off onto me, I'll have to do something about you.
If you can't do my work for me, then you're as good as fired.
What? Fired? Mason, although you are a department manager within this company, you do not have the ability to fire anyone that's below you. You have to file a report to HR and have them bring it to the CEO to be dealt with.
Do you even know how many people I've already fired while in this position? I've never once gotten HR involved while doing it either. I just tell them to grab their things and leave my site, and boom, they're gone forever. So don't even dare tell me that I can't do it to you as well. Those that do not do as I've told them are bound to be fired by me. If you understand that, then get to it and finish my work so that I don't look like an idiot tomorrow.
Well, for the time being, I'll work on getting everything ready for the meeting tomorrow, but after this, if you need my help with anything, please come to me directly and ask.
Now that I think of you, you're working on getting a welcoming party together, right?
Yeah, I was asked to work on setting it up.
I can't believe they want a welcoming party for someone that's only been here 6 months. If you really have time to be putting together a party, then you have time to get more work done for me.
Well, I'm not putting together the party because I want to, though. I was asked to do it, so I'm working on it as part of my job. I was told it will help the rest of the company to get to know me a bit more personally, and so here we are.
Well, either way, it'll be a huge waste.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Whatever place you choose to reserve for the party, I doubt anyone will be coming. You're the most worthless employee within this company in its whole history, after all.
Worthless? And what makes you think you have the ability to judge one's worth within this company? Have you already forgotten that I'm the one doing your job for you by preparing this material for the meeting?
You're not being asked to get all those materials ready. You're doing all of that on your own.
But I was just asked by you to have all of this material ready by tomorrow. And if this isn't completed by the meeting, then a lot of people will be affected. I don't understand what you are going on about, but I want to focus on my work right now, so I'll be going.
I know that you're worthless and don't mind slacking off on company time, but at least get the basics taken care of. Even if that requires you to stay late, you get it all done.
I get it. Now, I have to focus, so goodbye.
We're not coming to that restaurant today, bud.
What? What are you talking about, Mason?
We're all gonna have our own party over here. Go ahead and cancel the party you had planned for all 60 of us, please.
What the heck are you talking about, though? You're asking me to cancel the reservation on the day of the party?
Well, that's because you're a worthless employee. None of us within this company want to go there with you to drink and chat.
And which of the employees have been saying that? I believe that it's only you that doesn't want to be here today. And you seem to be the only one that thinks of me as worthless and worth your time talking down to.
The only person that thinks people wouldn't say that about himself would be someone as stupid as you are.
Is that what you think, then? Am I really that worthless and stupid to you?
You're beyond helping, and keeping a worthless employee like you within this company is a pain for your boss. Can you see now that I don't like having to lead you? Well, you worthless new hire can just sit there drowning yourself in alcohol.
So you really do enjoy talking down to me like that, then, huh?
Well, nobody else is coming to that place you've reserved to have a drink with you. I'm having everyone come with me, and we'll go to another restaurant to drink. You go ahead and cover the cost of that place for us.
I see. Then you are fired.
Huh?
Having to listen to any more of this out of you is going to give me a migraine. I don't think there is any more reason for me to talk with you, so you're going to be let go.
What are you saying? You're my subordinate, right? There's no way you'd be able to get your boss fired when you're beneath me. I guess it's true that you are as stupid as everyone said.
I've only just become the vice president of this company, Mason. Did you know that?
Huh?
Today's party is supposed to be in celebration of that, but you should already know who I am, right? Just today I started to do my job as the vice president, and yesterday was my final day in my last position. And so from today forward, I am no longer considered to be working underneath you. And actually, no one will ever be allowed to work underneath you ever again with this company.
What are you going on about, man? The vice president?
I can see that this whole time you just assumed I was some new hire that came into this company to take the place of the last guy you fired from your department. But I have come from overseas to be in this company.
Huh?
Half a year ago, it was decided that I would be taking on the position as the vice president of this company. And that's the reason I'd always be gone from my office and in meetings with other managers of the company. And you saw that I was speaking with a lot of the other managers within this office, right?
You're lying. I never heard a thing about you becoming the VP.
But as a manager yourself, you should have been hearing all about this from upper management, right? Well, from what I've been able to tell, nobody else within this company really tolerates you enough to come talk to you. And I'm sure that you wouldn't have been listening to anything they said to you anyway. Even if you did get emails from the company about me, you would have never opened them. I'm sure had you actually read the news and paid any attention to your workplace, you would have never spoken to me like you have so far, right?
Hold on a second for me. Are you being serious? Justin, are you really the vice president now?
Well, if you'd have come to the welcoming party today, you would have been informed of that again. But since you went to another location and tried making a party of your own, you never realized that. Be aware that I wouldn't have anything to gain by lying to you about this, Mason. This is all the truth. All of it.
So you're the vice president. I'm so very sorry for the very rude attitude I had towards you just then. But I had no clue of this, so nothing I said was meant to be harmful. Can we both just agree to forget about all of this? Can you just forget about how rude I've been to you? I had no reason to believe that you'd become the new vice president of the company. If I had known, I would have never been as harsh about you and would have done everything I could to support you.
And so what, Mason?
Huh?
I can already see how you behave in the workplace, as well as the bad influence you give off to others in the office building. So, you are fired. And that's final. You are far too rude with how you handled me.
Huh? You really want me fired? And you do it that easily? Can you please calm down for one moment? Open your eyes for 1 second. I'm a department manager here, and I'm a lot older and wiser than you are, Justin. If you think you can just fire me without thinking of the consequences, then you're not fit to be the vice president.
Of course this won't be easy for me, but because of the way you have acted thus far, there is no better chance to get rid of you than now. I can tell that if you're not taken care of, you'll continue to harm new hires, just as you always have. And then under the misunderstanding that you have the right to fire others when you please, you force the new hires to do your work for you. You've really made it clear to me that you're not worth the salary you earn. I've already gathered enough evidence of your harassment of subordinates, and so once I've brought this up with the others in upper management, you'll be in grave danger. And so that's why I'm helping you go through all that trouble by having you fired right now.
Fired? Are you seriously going to say that to me? You had just been working under me the last 6 months. Do you think it's okay to say that to me now?
And I was only your subordinate for a little while as they prepared me to take the seat as the vice president. And during that time, I saw just how horrible of a person you are. I don't have all the details on the damage you've already caused to the company, but it ends right here. You understand that always having to hire new employees to fill the position of those you fired costs us a lot of money, right?
I do understand that, but this company doesn't have the money to hold on to worthless employees, right?
That's exactly right.
Right? And so I was doing my job and taking care of all those worthless idiots. I haven't done anything besides that.
And just as you've said, Mason, I'll ask that you leave your position as well.
Huh?
You said this company doesn't have the money to waste on worthless idiots, right? So I'm asking that the most worthless and idiotic employee leave this company right now.
Wait, what do you mean, worthless? Are you talking about me?
All you did was force those below you to do your work as you sat at your desk on the phone or on YouTube. And when asked to go on business trips, you'd use the company's card to pay for all the fun you had away from work. You also never ended up finishing the materials that were due for that meeting. For the past 6 months, I've been able to see firsthand just how much you slack off and waste the company's time. I literally sat there with my desk next to you as you would do all these things, so there's no playing dumb now, Mason.
You're wrong! That's not at all what's been happening. What you had seen me do wasn't the norm for me. I never did any of those things to harm this company.
Whether you had the intent of harm or not, it no longer matters at this point. After this, I will no longer allow you to waste this company's time and money. So I'll say this one more time for you. You are fired.
Wait, that's impossible!
Seems that you're having a hard time hearing from me that you're being fired, but right now you should be concerned about the restaurant you reserved.
Huh? Now that you mention it, nobody has shown up yet. Do you know why nobody has come to the party yet? Is everyone still working or something? Your welcoming party was cancelled, right?
Everyone from the office is here with me right now.
With you? What?
What I'm saying is that everyone came to celebrate with me at the party I was asked to put together. Hence why nobody came to your party. Perhaps they don't want to be there because nobody cares about you? Of course, some of them asked me why they were called and told to go to that place, but I just told them that that was incorrect and to still come to this restaurant.
What? How did you...
Well, while you were supposed to be doing your work, or should I say, well, slacking off, I was talking to everyone else about the correct plans.
Why would everyone listen to you, though, instead of me?
Perhaps that's because I'm the vice president and I made these plans, so no matter how you think of yourself, they were going to trust me. Especially when they all said they didn't want to go with you. But you did this to yourself in an attempt to humiliate me. Don't try and drag other workers down with you just because you're too stupid to do your own job.
But having to cancel the day of is going to be too difficult.
But that's what you wanted to happen with me, right?
What's the cancellation fee going to be like? Do I have to be the one to pay it off?
Of course. You were the one that made yourself make the reservation there, so you'll have to pay for it. We're all here now having a great time, so you don't have to worry about coming and joining us. And since you're fired anyway, you can't come.
Don't say that about me! All of the other managers are there right now, right? Then I'll get my things and be there as soon as possible. I want to be there.
Not only are all the managers here, but so is the CEO.
Huh? The CEO came too? I seriously never thought you'd be able to get the CEO to come to that party. If I'm not able to show up, things will be bad for me.
I don't think that the CEO is okay with you joining us tonight, though. I just told you that you're fired, so it's really alright that you don't show up here at all. I know that even though you were a manager for a long time, they're forcing all your work onto me, but this all should make your position in our company a whole lot clearer, right? Now, you go and take some time to enjoy yourself there with the reservation you made. A worthless manager can sit by himself and enjoy a drink. Mason started to lose himself for a bit and tried to get into the restaurant that I had reserved for the party. But that involved him running away from the place he reserved for 60 people without paying, and so the manager of the restaurant called the police and he was taken into custody by the police. Once in their care, he was brought back to the store he ran from and was forced to pay up, or else the store would be taking legal action against him. Of course, this was not what he wanted, and so he began to scream and cuss before he finally pulled out his credit card and handed it to the manager. What I soon realized after talking with upper management was that they were on track to having him fired already, but me letting loose on him today finished the process. So the next day, when Mason tried coming into the office, he was told that he really had been fired and to leave before the police had to be called again on him. At that point, he truly did realize that I was the vice president and left without ever being seen again. The lady at the front desk did tell me about what had happened when turning him away, and said that his suit was a mess and that he smelled like alcohol when he tried getting in. He may have thought he was doing the company a favor by firing all those new hires he didn't deem fit, and perhaps that's why he assumed he'd never be fired. But after what had happened to him now, I'd like to say this was a hard pill to swallow. I did the right thing firing him before letting him cause any more trouble to the company, and I hope that he's aware that people will not tolerate that kind of horrible attitude in the workplace, no matter if you're a manager or not.